Hey everybody, it's Andre here from Slick Auto. I'm here today at our home base for Slick Auto, and we are going to explain the difference on a couple of 86s that are modded differently and how that relates to either the track, street, and the different mod levels that we have. So to start, we have Dominic's mostly stock BRZ, and then we're going to move on to Ryan's 86 that has a fair bit of mods, mostly street driven. And then we're going on to the Red Rocket, which is pretty much a dedicated track car at this point. Well, it is. It's fully track car. Not going back. And then, yeah, let's talk about the little the few mods that we have. So let's start with Dominic's BRZ. This is a 2013 BRZ. Mostly stock. We have some Inky RPF1 wheels. Those are 17x9 plus 35, the right offset for the earlier A6s. We have a header and an air intake on Dominic's car. We'll show you that a little bit later. And but mostly interior is pretty much stock. We have some lowering springs, Eibach lowering kit springs on this, so it does move the ride height down. And of course, Dominic has a couple of appearance packages. So we have this lip, we have the side skirts, and then we have the SARD type rear wing. So in terms of visual, it's a great street car. It's not going to be too rough to drive around. It's not, you're not feeling a lot of harshness on the road. The springs will give you a little bit more of a stiffer ride, but not uncomfortable. Let's bring in Ryan. Let's talk a little bit about Ryan's car here. So Ryan has a lot of little mods on his car. Let's start talking about the engine and powertrain.
Yes, so I have equal length Ace headers and a counter space garage catback on the car. And that's pretty much it for power mods.
And ECU tech?
Yes.
ECU tech tuning. So Dominic's BRZ, there's no tuning at all, just completely stock ECU. Ryan's car has ECU tech, so he's able to kind of optimize those mods a little bit more and kind of, get a little bit more grunt out of the lower end, maximize the mid-range top end of those parts as well. What about suspension? Let's talk suspension.
So I am running Race Comp Engineering Super Street 1 coilovers, 6K front and rear spring rates.
And are those adjustable, non-adjustable?
One-way rebound.
One-way rebound only, okay.
20 clicks. For the rest of the suspension, I have MCA traction mod out back and STI trailing arm.
Adjustable rear control arms?
Yes.
Okay, the lowers. Okay.
Correct. Yep. And pretty much cover suspension aside from some various bushings.
What about camber adjustments on the front? Do you have anything that can adjust the camber? Do you have camber bolts or anything like that?
Yeah, so there's
camber plates.
Camber plates,
okay.
And then I have the crash bolt up top,
okay,
just to kind of dial things in before I adjust things. And I'm around 2.5 degrees negative front and 2 degrees in the back.
Okay, good. Good. So in terms of a track and street car, it's a little heavy on the camber, but it's more optimized so that when you're getting to the track, as a street car, it's probably maybe a little bit too much camber. It does look good. But in terms of track, that's when you're really going to be able to use that extra camber and performance. Let's talk about this new wheels, Ryan.
Yes. Waited quite a while for these.
Yeah, we waited about 6 months almost for these through Slick Auto.
Yeah.
These are the Koenig Hyperspec 17x9
plus 40.
Plus 40 offset.
Yeah.
So a brand new wheel. It's a flow formed wheel, really nice, reasonably lightweight, and great performance and great value from Koenig as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, they're good. And I think they're 18 pounds a wheel.
18 pounds a wheel. And then these are shod with the Continental 300 treadwear Extreme Contact Sport tires. So this equivalent to Michelin Pilot Super Sport, PS4S type of tire, 300 treadwear, not heavy into the 200s in terms of more of a track focused tire. Ryan has a set of those that he will use specifically for the track, but for the street, this is a fantastic street tire. What about interior, exterior mods? Anything?
Exterior, the car, aside from the wheels, is stock. I did forget to mention, I do also have a Jackson Racing oil cooler.
Okay, good.
Tucked behind the license plate.
Okay.
I use that to kind of block airflow a little bit. And interior is pretty much stock. I have, you can see there, a little carbon fiber.
Yeah, little carbon fiber
accents
dash
here and
hood.
there, and just some Alcantara. That's pretty much it.
Great. Let's move over to the Red Rocket, and let's talk to you about what we've done to the Red Rocket. Now, I've had this car now 13 years. It's a 2013 Scion FRS. Your car, Ryan, is a 2017?
Yes.
And Dominic's car is a 2013. So first gen, kind of refresh, and then back to the first gen for mine. Within 3 days of purchasing this car, this was at Calabogie Motorsports Park logging laps. The hell with break-in. It was right up the red line. So it was always intended to be a track fun car. It's gone a little bit past that over the years. And it's basically not a street car anymore. We can't drive it on the street. It's got too many mods that even if we were insured and platable, if we got pulled over, we would get noise tickets, catalyst tickets, no seatbelt tickets because we're only running race harnesses in this car. So yeah, it's gone kind of through the whole gamut of upgrades. For my car, and we'll probably do a little section under the hood to kind of show you the mods that we have under the hood. But basically, let's start with the power mods for this one. Obviously, some nice vented hood louvers. You can't come back from that. So if you cut holes in your hood, your wife will be very upset with you. In terms of engine mods, this is something around the 6th or 7th engine I've put in this car. This is a fully built block. It is not IAG or anything. It's a stock Subaru block, but it has high compression forged pistons, but we're down to 10-to-1 as opposed to 12.5-to-1, which is stock, because we're running boost. Forged rods, of course, for strength. This engine itself, as assembled, should be good to somewhere around 700 horsepower. We're not anywhere close to that. Peak horsepower out of this setup, running an ECU Tech tune through Dover Labs, which is the best tune I've ever had on this car. We're around 330 peak horsepower, which means that when we're running it on track, we're probably closer to around 300 with a bit of heat soak. Heat soak is a real thing. So we're going to try to work next year on maybe some mods that'll help us with the heat soak and maybe upping the power a little bit. We have a Rotrix supercharger that dials up to boost for the engine to about anywhere from 11 to 12 psi tops. Good mid-range, and it's a variable with the engine speed, so it's not a crazy amount of boost down low, and as the boost increases, as the RPMs increase, the boost increases as well. Moving on to suspension. So suspension, we have RCE Tarmac 2 coilovers that are probably on their 10th year of service. So kudos to RCE for putting a system together that has lasted this long. But RCE, they're going to be coming to you over the winter for a full rebuild because it's time. And then we might do a couple little tweaks from RCE to update these coilovers from what they were originally. We have some camber plates that came originally with the vehicle. And if you look at the camber plates as they are here, you can see there's still a lot of room to go with more negative camber. We're currently at 4.5 negative on this, and we could probably go to 6, which is crazy for this car. One of the reasons we were able to accomplish that was we use the crash bolts on the upright arm, and that gives us a little bit more tilt to the spindle when we set up the suspension, so we can get a lot more camber that way. In the back, so front control arms in the front, RCEs, and the camber plates is pretty much the top of the car, or the front of the car, and then in the rear, we have upper adjustable control arms, we have lower adjustable control arms, we have upgraded toe arms, so we can get the full adjustability. And one of the reasons we did adjustable uppers and lowers is so that we can pull in the tops of the tires in a lot more, and this allows us to put a lot more tire into the back of the car by pushing the whole assembly in a little bit. The wheel and tire setup that I run on this car is an 18 by 10 wheel plus 38 offset with a 275 square setup, front and rear, and there's no rubbing anywhere. So it's a fairly aggressive for a stock bodied car. And in terms of aero, we've done some aero updates. Obviously the hood louvers, we have the custom front splitter. This helps a lot with the downforce to keep the front end snug down at the bottom. And then we move on to the rear of the car. We have this Wing Logic wing from Professional Awesome Racing. Very, very, very effective aero. And you can see it's pretty much very close to 0 degrees. And what people don't realize when they're thinking you're not going to get much downforce at 0 degrees, you have to remember that the airflow does not hit the wing straight on. The airflow follows the top of the car and comes down on an angle. So you're getting a lot more downforce at 0 degrees. You see a lot of these wings that are angled at like 10, 15 degrees. They're not working at that level. And then we have a custom rear diffuser. A lot of people think the diffuser does not work. Believe me, it works. If we take it off and go on track without the diffuser, the back end will be really, really loose. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Red Rocket. In terms of inside, other than the other two cars, it's pretty much completely stripped in the inside. We have a full cage, but we've opted to keep the whole dash in there and even the center console. We're not running an AIM dash. We're running stock gauges, OBD hookups for a multi-gauge. And one of my favorite upgrades is the IRP tall. Short shifter, but it's a tall shifter. It's up near the level of the steering wheel, and then it's really effective in terms of gear changes. And but yes, a great addition with the roll cage. Nice solid mounted seat and 6-point harnesses for the track, because this is a track. And at this point, we still have our windows that may come out in the near future, but for now we have the windows that are still in the vehicle as well. Let's pop the hoods of some of the other cars and have a look under the hood. I'll start with Dominic's car. You can pop yours if you want.
Sure.
We were talking about some of the engine mods, but there's not really a lot to see. Well, so in terms of stock mods, if we look down Dominic's car, we have this Mishimoto cold air intake, feeds in right from the head of the rad. So we have a little bit of cold air that's coming in through there. We have a JDL header, unequal length header, and that's helping us with that, you know, that Subaru rumble. We have to maximize those mods, we really should be tuning it, and that's going to be the next thing on this car. Maybe we're going to do a tune for this vehicle. Let's move on to Ryan's car. So looks a lot different. Ryan has the beloved red cast aluminum intake, and I see you're running just a parent tube and a reusable K&N drop-in filter.
Correct. Yep.
The K&N drop-in filter is probably one of the most effective mods that you can do that doesn't cost you a whole lot of money. The stock airbox has been designed, is quite effective for what it is. So a lot of people will opt, even on the other car. Sometimes you're losing a little bit of power by going away from the stock airbox. So keep in mind, stock airbox is quite good. You can have a look here at the camera plates. That they're a lot nicer looking than the ones I have on my car.
Yeah.
But yeah, super street, fully adjustable, and nice increments, so we can kind of keep an eye on where the markings are. And of course, in the background, we have the ECU tech that's working on everything. There's the Ace header down here. There you can see the nice, what is that, 4-to-1? 4 to 2 to 1?
4 2 to 1. Yeah.
4 to 2 to 1. So nice, powerful, a little bit more power than the JDL unequal length is making typically. And then, yeah, on mine, I believe I have I forget what kind of intake I have. Tomei. Sorry. So on my car, I have the Tomei exhaust header. So it's unequal length as well. And of course, the airbox is fed right in here right in the cold air section of the front end, and that really helps with keeping the entry air coming into the supercharger to be as cold as possible, because once it runs through the whole system, believe me, it's getting a lot of heat soak, so we want to try to keep that as cool as possible. We may add in the future some meth injection, and who knows, maybe another water to air cooler to further cool that intake charge. But you know, a little bit different look between all the engines, a little bit different look between all the cars. Ride heights are reasonably the same. I would probably guess that my car is a little bit taller because I'm running much taller tires. And you can tell from my car that it's not excessively lowered. One of the big mistakes people do is overly lower their car for the track, and you're getting outside of the effective range of the suspension moving and working in the proper manner that's intended to be. So don't lower your car too much for the track. Lower a little bit, get everything working right. Probably the most important part of your entire suspension is the quality of your shocks. Don't just throw some springs on there, do some shock upgrades, and that's really going to give you the most of your shock setup and your track setup. In terms of lap times, let's talk about lap times for Calabogie with these cars. I think a stock BRZ with these mods would probably run somewhere around 233 to 235 on the long track at Calabogie. Ryan has been able to get down to sub 30.
Yeah, 29.6.
29.6 in his car. And that's amazing. Anything sub 30 for Calabogie Motorsport Park is actually quite fast. And we have some Corvettes and Camaros that are running on that track, and they're probably only 3 or 4 seconds up the road. So that's pretty good. My car, my best has been down to a 2:16. And a lot of that is making sure that all the mods are working together in concert with each other, and not contradicting each other. And what I kind of mean to say on that is the best way to mod your car is slowly, one part at a time. Put the piece on, test, see an improvement, make an adjustment, then move on to the next part. One of the things that I see happening a lot in the modding world is somebody will just go through and order a catalog full of parts, or all the parts on the car at the same time, and then wonder why the car is not working well, because they're not engineering each piece as they go. You want to be able to measure and repeat and test before you move on to the next piece, and make sure that the part that you're putting on is actually working, and not just a claimed, kind of like horsepower claims, right? Not just, oh yeah, this is guaranteed to increase your lap time. Like the traction mod that you put on your car, it's supposed to increase the ability for the car to get out of the corner, right? So you want to put it on, you want to make sure you test for that and make sure that it's getting you the effective mods. And probably the best mod to put on your car, or on you as a driver, and it's one that we can move from any of one of these cars, is the driver mod. So any track training that you have, sitting with a coach, and even with me, 30 years of driving, I'm more than happy to sit down with a coach and have him critique my driving and see if there's an area that I can improve. So the driver mod will always stay with you. It'll improve your driving anywhere, on any track. It'll improve your vision. It's really probably the best investment you can do in terms of modding your car, or making your car go faster on the track, is really doing that driver mod. Anyways, if you have any other questions for us, mark them in the comments below. We'll be sure to respond. Hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'll have more of these videos for you in the future. Cheers, guys.